How many of you want to be successful? Raise your hands. You all want to be successful. Next 15 minutes you should listen to me. Okay? Alright? In your class, you will notice that there are a lot of bright kids. And before the teacher can finish the question, they raise their hand, they have the answer. And most of you who are sitting at the back bench, you always feel that the students who scored the highest marks, who have won all the gold medals, got university ranking, these are the people who are going to be successful. You think these are the people who will change the world. But reality is not what you think it is. Reality is, world is at the feet of backbenchers. There are enough studies done across the world that the students who couldn't pass the exams, who always had problems in understanding maths and various subjects, they made real path-breaking products and services and changed the world. So, if you ever think that I'm a very average student, I can't do anything worthwhile in this world, you're mistaken. And world is decided by the people with the passion, compassion, and the desire to work hard and look at the world as it should be than what it is. You're only limited by your imagination. You're not limited by the marks you got and the ranking you got in the university. You're only limited by the imagination. You agree with me? Now, when I talk about the world is at the feet of backbenchers, you must be thinking which bench I was occupying. And your guess is right. I was one of those backbenchers. How many of you have failed in second standard exam? You failed in second standard. How did you do that? I failed in second standard exam. And before I knew what failure was, my teacher said, "You have failed." And I was the only one to fail in that class. I tried to get into medical college. First time I couldn't. Second time I somehow managed to creep into the medical college. And I found it very difficult in the first year. But I worked very, very hard. Then I decided to become a heart surgeon at a very early stage of my life. All I did was to work hard. I may not be very good in cracking exams. Exams have always been giving nightmares. Even today I get up in the middle of the night thinking that the exam was over and I failed to appear in the exam hall. I'm sure even you all getting those nightmares. I still get it. But that didn't matter in life because my passion was heart surgery. But I can tell you I can do heart surgery much better than other surgeons. That's the only thing I'm good at. So just concentrate on what you're good at and you will reach where you want. Follow your dream. Around 15 years ago, there was drought in the state of Karnataka. Farmers lost their capacity to buy healthcare because our government spends only 1% of the GDP on healthcare. So I thought we should help farmers to get at least surgeries done. So I convinced 1.7 million farmers and to pay 5 rupees per month so that they can get any operation done. At that time we had a very progressive government which accepted the scheme, which was eventually named as Yashaswini Micro Health Insurance Scheme. And we networked with 400 hospitals across the state, and 17 lakh farmers paid 5 rupees per month. And today we have more than 4 million farmers paying more premium. And what happened? In 13 years, 12 1.2 million farmers had varieties of surgeries, and over 1.5 lakh farmers had a heart operation just by paying 5 rupees per month. All I am trying to say is that when you look at the complex problems of the society, there are easy solutions. But the easy solution will not come from US and Europe. It has to come from us, because we are the sufferers. We should look at how do we solve this problem. Going back, I just want to let you know we have 900 million mobile phone subscribers in the country. They spend 150 to 250 rupees per month just to speak on the mobile phone. If we can collect 30 rupees from each mobile phone subscriber, we can pay for the surgical cost of 900 million people. And it can change the way healthcare is delivered. A lot of the time, your teachers will keep talking about how bad you are, how insincere you are. You just wanted to... Can you read this statement? Today's students are not serious about studies. They don't do their homework. And they don't respect teachers. Is that what your teachers keep telling you all? You know, this statement, when it was said first, maybe may not be the first. It was said first by Hippocrates in 460 BC. Before Jesus Christ was born, teachers kept talking about the students. The students are not serious. Students don't respect the teachers. So if your teachers ever told you that you're not serious about life, don't get put off. All the teachers did it from the ancient times. So your teacher is not an exception, and you're not an exceptional student. I just want to convey the message to you. You all have to dream big. And dreams are required not when everything is going right, but when everything is going wrong. And never, never give up. You heard of Winston Churchill? He's the man who made sure that the Allied forces won against the Nazis. And when he was interviewed at the end of the World War, how he succeeded against all the odds against him, he made a very short speech. He said, never, never, never give up. You will have so many setbacks, so many difficulties. A lot of things you think you can do it, it doesn't work out the way you want. But never, never give up. It's always one thinks that if you have a high-funded degree from one of the big business schools and you have done very well in studies with all the gold medals, you will succeed. No. It is the one who does little bit of extra work is the one who succeeds. I am one of the employees to leave my hospital. I am one of the last employees to leave the organization. When I leave the building, I look around as how many people are around. And when I find people still hanging around at 10 o'clock at night, I know that those people one day reach great heights. It is not the one who comes at 9 o'clock and finishes the work at 5 o'clock. It is the one who does little bit extra than the others. Whatever you do, you will fail. Sometimes you will fail. Half the time you will fail. As a surgeon, I operate. And not that 100% of my patients survive. Some patients do die. Do you know who is the safest surgeon on the planet? Do you know who is the safest surgeon? Safest surgeon is the one who doesn't operate. So, if you operate, somebody is going to get hurt, somebody is going to die, but that shouldn't prevent you from operating. So in life, never get put off by the failures. Failures are a stepping stone. It gives you only the experiences. And always remember, there is nothing like a last chance. People always say this is the last chance you have. No, there are enough chances. If you let go of the chance, it's okay. Tomorrow there will be another opportunity. And all the failures are temporary. always you should watch others, how they do things, and you learn so much. As a surgeon, I travel around the world, watch surgeons operating. I look at I always go to the YouTube and watch other surgeons operating. Because a lot of the time, we learn how to do the operation better. And a lot of the time, we also learn how not to do the operation. If you watch a bad surgeon operating, you learn how not to do the operation, because when they finish the heart operation, the heart looks like a dog's dinner and you don't want to operate like them. So essentially, you should always try to learn from some other's mistake so that you don't repeat the same mistake. Soon you will be getting into the job market and you keep applying and you have a lot of hopes, and one day you hear a good news that okay, you got selected for the job somewhere else, and you get very, very happy and you celebrate. Sometimes you get a news that you have been again rejected and you feel sad and you feel very, very depressed. But in life, there is something called average. That is, when things are going wrong, remember, things are never as bad as it looks like. And when things are looking great, things are never as good as it looks like. There is always something in between. So when you are feeling sad, don't think it is the end of the world. Tomorrow is another day. Or when good things happen, don't think it's going to change your life. It's always something in between. Whatever you do in life, be humble, be polite, and never criticize others. Never criticize others. Even though you're tempted, as a surgeon, I see the results of somebody else. A patient was operated by another surgeon in the city. It's always tempting to say that he has done a bad job. But never do that. Because when your patient goes to him, he will also say the same thing. So never in life criticize others. Just wanted to tell you that when you build organizations, you always get carried away with the credentials, degrees, and the pedigree. It is degree and the qualification has nothing to do with the skill and the passion. Like, I'll give an example. We have trained nurses, the girls who couldn't get into nursing college because they didn't have the money to join the nursing college. Nursing education is relatively expensive. So we identify such girls from villages. Because they couldn't get in the nursing college, we take them directly and we put them in a training program called CCA, Critical Care Assistant Training Program. And they undergo exactly like a nurse training program for 4 years. And at the end of 4 years, they start working in the operating room and various places. And they are much, much better than the nurses, because for them, this is the only hope they have. And these nurses are the ones who assist us for a heart operation. We always feel that unless you have the degree of a BSc, she can't be assisting for a hernia operation or some other operation. I just want, can you see this beautiful painting? This is a real beautiful painting which is hung on my wall. Yeah. And anybody walking into my office, they look at the beautiful painting and ask me who the painter is. And I want to ask you the same question. Who do you think is the painter is? This, as I said, this is in the best place of my room, and everyone loves this painting. Can you guess? Sorry? This painting is done by a trained elephant in Thailand. They train elephants to do this beautiful painting. Can't we get girls from villages and train them how to hand over a surgical instrument when a surgery is done? It is possible. But we are so carried away with the degree and credentials, we don't look at the human imagination. I just want to end my talk Just want to ask you one more question. How many of you are tech savvy? How many of you are smart in using the mobile phone and email and various apps? Only about 30%. In the future, near future, if you are not able to use the mobile phone and the various applications and technology, you will be as bad as your great-grandfathers who were illiterate. Right? This is going to be the future. You have to become tech savvy. I was traveling to Delhi. I was trying to catch the metro in the railway station in Delhi metro station. And I was in a hurry. So I went to the station to buy the ticket. And there was no one there selling the ticket. They just showed me the kiosk. I said, I don't know how to use the kiosk. Then that receptionist did like this. If you don't know, it's bad luck. So a time will come when you go to airport, there won't be anybody. You have to help yourself. And when you learn technology, you will make mistakes. 12 years ago, I only knew how to use the phone for taking the call and returning the call. My wife told me that you have to learn how to send messages. I said, it's difficult for me. And she started teaching me. And she started sending me messages. I started responding to her. And she used to, when I went back home, she used to check my phone as how I was doing. And one day when she looked at the phone, she banged the phone on the floor. She was very upset. Then I said, honey, what happened? She said, do you know what messages you have sent? I said, what happened? I sent, when you're talking to your wife or sending a message, what message you give? I sent a message, I love you, honey, to my wife. And unfortunately, I sent the message to the matron of the hospital. So there was a problem. When you will make mistakes when you are learning. But that's okay. Thank you very much. God bless.